This is a mock interview conducted by Forum IAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent academicians, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
May I come in?
Come in.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Come, please
Good
sit down.
afternoon, sir.
Come, sit down, Prateek. So when is your interview, Prateek?
25th April.
Okay. And how did you do your mains?
It was okayish.
Okay-ish. Have you reached the interview stage before?
Yes, ma'am. Last year.
You reached, and what happened?
Ma'am, I got 151 marks and I couldn't clear because of poor mains performance.
Okay. This time you've done okay, better than last year, or you don't know?
Ma'am, subjectively the answers were a little better, but I couldn't complete the papers in time this time.
Never mind. It's a comparative thing. Maybe others also couldn't do it. Don't worry. You belong to Sirsa, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a desert. It's in the desert, Sirsa.
Ma'am, it's near, almost on the frontier of a desert.
Why is it called Sirsa?
The ancient name comes from, there are theories that it comes from Sarishka trees. These are trees that grow in the region.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it is thought that the name comes from.
Does it have anything to do with the Saraswati River?
It is currently believed that Saraswati River was existed on the current, what are the current floodplains of the Ghaggar-Hakra system. And Sirsa falls on the Ghaggar River. So there is a connection, but however, Sirsa name does not come from.
So the disappearance of this river or these rivers,
yes,
did they have some significance in our ancient history?
Ma'am, it is thought that the Harappan civilization
Very good.
had something to do with
This was one of the
the
causes.
decline.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you are an aerospace engineer
Yes,
from IIT Kanpur.
yes, ma'am.
We need people like you in the field of science, not in general administration. Okay. There have been some very serious accidents in space programs. So can you tell me 3 of those where there have been fatalities, and what were the reasons that led to those accidents? What was the shortfall or deficiency? They were all failures of basically the design.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me 3 of them that come to your mind.
Ma'am, 2 of them were directly linked with the space shuttle program.
Which were they?
NASA's space shuttle program. One was the Challenger disaster, and the second name I cannot recall at the moment.
Columbia.
Yes, ma'am. Columbia disaster.
So what happened? They were both separate, huh?
Yes,
what
ma'am.
happened in Challenger and what happened in Columbia?
I have a little confusion, but one of the disasters were related to the O-rings.
To the?
O-rings.
To the?
O-rings.
What happened?
O-shaped rings. Ma'am, the rings were faulty. There was a design problem which led to a blast during the launch stage. So that was one disaster. The second disaster related to the problem with space shields. During the launch phase, what happened was that the space shields got compromised due to a foam hitting the wind, the shields. So while returning, coming back to the atmosphere, the shuttle subsequently burned up.
Could it have been averted? Yeah, you're right.
Yes, ma'am.
The Challenger was the first and Columbia was second. Could it have been averted?
Yes, ma'am.
How?
At that time, the department that was related with this safety, they had warned the space control that there was a foam strike and there needed to be a physical check and repairs that needed to take place. However, in light of adhering to timelines and urgency,
No, they didn't do that.
the command, they decided to override these issues.
So were they tried?
No, ma'am.
And any other in which, any Russian program where somebody died, you recall?
I do recall a mission, but I cannot recall the specifics.
Never mind. Fair enough. Fair enough. So there was the Sarpanch's agitation in Haryana. Is it still on or is it over now? And what was it all about?
Ma'am, the core problem was that the government has started introducing e-tenders in panchayati projects, and this has led to agitations. the Sarpanchs are demanding that the value for these e-tenders, the minimum value should be increased. It is still ongoing, and there are negotiations over what the minimum value should be going forward.
What was the value they said?
The initial value was 5 lakh rupees. Projects above 5 lakhs would be done through tenders.
Was it 5 or 2?
I
Never
think
mind.
I
You can
have
check
a
it out.
confusion.
Never mind. You can check it out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You read the newspapers, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
So today there is an article regarding national and state parties.
Yes, ma'am.
So what does it say, and what is the criteria for a national party?
Currently, Aam Aadmi Party has been granted national status, and 3 other parties have been revoked national status. The criteria
Who
for
are the 3?
ma'am, one is the CPI, and one is the Sharad Pawar's party. I cannot recall the name, and the third one I cannot recall.
Okay, NCP and TMC.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So what is the criteria for a national party?
Ma'am, there are 3 criteria. The first one is that it should be recognized in 4 or more states, recognized state party. Second is that it should have 6% of the vote share in 3 or more states, and 4 seats as well in the Lok Sabha elections. And the third criteria is 2% of states, 2% of the total seats in at least 3 states.
So tell me, this is a result of which elections?
Ma'am, this is a result of the state elections in Punjab, Delhi, as well as the national elections.
Okay. All right.
Prateek,
Yes.
there's this private company in India which actually launched a rocket, right, recently.
Yes, sir.
You know the company?
Sir, Skyroot Aerospace.
Skyroot. So recently Skyroot tested its cryogenic engine
Yes, sir.
using the 3D printing technology.
Yes, sir.
What is so special about this particular development of cryogenic engine?
Sir, cryogenic engines basically provide more thrust power in a smaller, under a smaller payload weight. So they weigh less and they provide more thrust. So they are very.
No, that's fine. That's about the cryogenic engine. I'm asking that how this 3D printed cryogenic engine is different from the other types of cryogenic engine available.
Sir, the technology of 3D printing provides more. It increases the localization of the technology. So it reduces the cost as well.
What actually happens in cryogenic engine? Are you aware?
Sir, I am not aware of the exact specific.
Okay. Since you are an aerospace engineer, so another question related to that area. Are you aware about the drone technology?
Yes, sir.
So, right now it is considered that Turkey is the biggest and the best low-cost drone manufacturer.
Yes, sir.
And Pakistan is buying from Turkey.
Yes, sir.
And Turkey has also said that it will not be giving those drones to India.
Yes, sir.
What should India do, or rather what India is doing to counter that challenge?
Sir, India has introduced its drone policy, which envisages local manufacturing and development of technologies related to the drone sector, greater participation of the private sector as well. Additionally, sir, in the normal drone sector, the everyday use drone sector, we have imposed restrictions on imports so as to enhance the local capacities. So third, we are also talking with international partners like USA to bring their drone technology to India. For example, the Predator drones from USA. There is a proposal to bring them to India.
What is the name of those drones? What are the different kinds of drones that India has right now?
Sir, from USA, India is aiming to import the Predator drones. So currently, India has drones named Tapas and...
Tapas is India's drone. That is what India is developing.
Yes, sir.
What is the class of that drone, Tapas, that you are talking about?
Sir,
are you aware of the different classes of drones?
Sir, I am aware, but I cannot exactly recall the...
HALE class, MALE class. So what is this HALE and MALE class?
Sorry, sir, I cannot recall at the moment.
Acha, what are the difference in conventional aircrafts and drones in terms of the driving system?
Sir, drones are unmanned and conventional aircrafts are manned. That is the primary difference.
That's fine. I'm talking about the driving force. What drives propellers
Sir,
and all?
propeller engines are used primarily in drones.
And is only propeller engine, turboprop, nothing else?
Sir, other engines can also be used, but because of longevity and to increase endurance and range, propeller drones are the most common drones.
Okay. Finland had recently joined NATO, right?
Yes, sir.
Sweden could not.
Yes, sir.
Why Sweden was not allowed to join NATO?
Sir, Sweden is there is greater opposition from Turkey when it comes to Sweden's case, and it has to do with certain assurances that Turkey is seeking from Sweden, and they relate to certain terrorist provisions that.
What actually is the conflicting point? Where exactly is the protest from Turkey?
Sir, it relates to two topics. Sir, one is the protection that Sweden is granting to people who are considered terrorists in Turkey. Secondly, it has to do with...
Why are they considered terrorists in Turkey? What are they doing? What are their demands?
Sir, for religious... sir, one faction says that we have religious freedom to... Sir, the primary issue is the burning of Quran. So...
But they are Sunni Muslim. So why would they burn Quran? So is this the issue because the burning of Quran?
Sir, these are two issues that are primarily cited.
First is burning of Quran. Second?
So second is the harboring of terrorists or people who are considered terrorists by Turkey.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Prateek.
Yes, sir.
So you have been into motorsports.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is a typical mileage of an F1 car?
Sir, I'm not aware of the mileage.
Okay. So there is a transition to, the mobility we are talking about, transition to electric vehicles.
Yes, sir.
So any transition in the motorsports also? Is there anything related to EVs?
Sir, there are Formula E events that take place.
So Formula E has begun. So in terms of, the parameters, the performance, so are EVs comparable to the typical F1 cars, say in terms of torque or in terms of, the acceleration, how fast can they accelerate? How are they comparable?
Sir, in acceleration, sir, Formula E vehicles are comparatively better than F1 vehicles. They can generate, torque at all the four wheels. The motors are much more strong and acceleration is better, sir. And in case of top speed, sir, they are not very comparable.
Why is the reason why acceleration is faster in EVs but why the top speed is much lower than the petrol vehicles?
Sir, in EVs, sir, instantaneous power can be provided through the motors. But in conventional engines, it takes time to transfer the energy, transfer the momentum to the wheels.
Okay. How about top speed?
So top speed for F1 vehicles is more than the EVs.
Reason behind that?
Sir, I cannot point out that.
Okay. So can you tell me what is a Vostro account? Have you heard the term?
Yes, sir. Sir, Vostro account, sir, relates to, sir, international finance dealings. Sir, it is the account that is held by a local bank for a foreign bank in the local bank's currency.
Okay. And what are the provisions? RBI has released certain guidelines related to Vostro accounts. Are you aware?
Sir, of the recent guidelines.
Okay.
Okay. And do you think that India the steps that the government has taken, can rupee in a foreseeable future replace dollar as an international currency?
So not in the foreseeable future, because still over 90% of the global trade takes place in dollars, and sir, more than 50% of global securities are held in dollar terms, and rupee has very low international value as such.
Okay. And how has China been able to, although Chinese yuan is still far from being an international currency, it has become part of the IMF basket.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me how Chinese have been able to pull that off?
Sir, one of the reasons is that due to sanctions on certain countries, China has been able to negotiate dealings in their own currency. Additionally, sir, the loans that China is providing to several countries, it has enhanced the power of its currency. So third, it's international trade. So China has a very strong trade base, and that has been able to strengthen their currency as well.
So does rupee stand a chance that it might be included in IMF basket?
Yes, sir. So certainly.
So that should be the target.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, Prateek. Now, being an aerospace engineer, do you follow events related to news related to aerospace engineering?
Yes, sir.
All right. Air India recently placed a very big order.
Yes, sir.
What was that?
Sir, it was an order for 470 aircrafts from Boeing and Airbus.
How much from Boeing and how much from Airbus?
Sir, I cannot recollect.
Can
the
you
exact
recall the worth of monetary worth of that deal?
Sir, the exact numbers are not known. However, it is estimated to be somewhere from around $80 billion to above $100 billion.
All right. Okay. Don't you think that this could drain India of a lot of foreign reserve? Lots
Sir,
of dollars will go out of India.
Sir, firstly, the deal is structured in a way that it is spread over a lot of years. Sir, secondly, sir, how aircraft dealings happen is that there is a buyback model and buyback and leasing model that dominates the aircraft industry.
Okay.
Sir, in that the aircrafts will be bought by the company and then they will be sold back at a profit and then leased
So
again.
that will be leased from
Yes, sir.
Air India and not bought
Yes,
in a
sir.
sense. Okay. How much is the foreign exchange reserve of India?
Sir, around $600 billion.
$600 billion.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that is correct?
Yes,
Are you sure
sir.
about it?
Recently it was.
All right. And how do we increase our foreign reserve?
So we can
Can
increase
you
our
explain me the basics of it? How does balance of payment work?
Sir, through trade mechanisms and additionally, sir, the securities that RBI holds. Sir, we can enhance our forex by enhancing our trade, increasing the exports and decreasing the imports. Additionally, sir, so the value of securities that RBI holds, if it changes, it can.
Now, a few weeks back, there was a news that for the first time in many years, India's current account, we had a surplus.
Yes, sir.
What was the reason given?
So one of the reason is that there were strong service exports due to the COVID pandemic. And sir, additionally, sir, our imports, they were relatively low. So these are the two reasons I can think of.
And you like being involved in Fantasy League.
Yes.
What is that?
Sir, it is an online platform where we have to create a team of 15 players, and according to their real world performance, they are given certain points.
Okay. So is it a game of skill or is it a game of chance?
Sir, it is a game of skill.
Of skill. How is it a game of skill?
So we need to select the players according to their real world performances. We have to currently.
And what is the government policy on this?
Sir, there are high court judgments that classify it as a game of skill, and sir, government is currently not regulating it. Government is promoting self-regulation in the gaming industry itself.
Do we have laws also of online betting?
Recently, there have been some laws introduced under the IT rules 2021, and sir, these laws say that self-regulation they promote self-regulation, and that the financial component, finances of
How
these
does
games.
the law distinguish between chance and skill?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware.
All right, okay. Does it fall under the purview of central government or the state government?
Sir, gambling falls under state government. Sir, I would say it falls under the purview of state governments.
All right, okay. Thank you, Prateek.
You have a very pleasing personality, pleasant. So you speak well, you're articulate. Though you speak less, that's okay. You speak to the point. The people who go on and on and on, and you want to shut them up. You're not one of those. That's very good. You don't bluff. If you don't know, you say you don't know. These are very positive things.